Thursday, October 9th, 2025, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Well, we're going to look at a few things today. There's a lot of interesting developments, not just in precious metals, but also geopolitically vis-a-vis BRICS and de-dollarization. But we'll focus on silver first. Silver is looking very, very good. We're fast approaching that historic 50 area. Even though back in 1980, I don't think we reached 50, but it was very close to reaching 50. And same thing goes for 2011. Most people that follow silver closely, they expect for silver to go a lot higher, that it needs to break 50. So yesterday, of course, gold broke 4,000, and I spoke about it, that it tested it first early in the morning London time, just a few seconds, came back down to like 39.95, and then it just went up like a rocket and stayed up above 4,000 all day. Silver, even though it outperformed gold yesterday, we're still below or above the 80 level in the gold silver ratio, and also below 1.125%, which is 80 in reverse in the silver to gold ratio. So I think that ratio level there will be broken, either 80 or 1.125% once we break 50. And once we break 50, and it could be today, it's going to be something quite incredible to see. It's really interesting to be alive, in my opinion, because silver has been suppressed for 45 years, and I've spoken about the Hunt brothers. And most people, when they think about the Hunt brothers, they think that they try to corner the silver market, and to some extent they did towards the end of their operations in the silver market. But if you read the history, like I have, the Hunt brothers, they had an oil fortune. I think it was related to Libya, actually, and their father made they were probably one of the richest families at the time. And in the early 70s, with the OPEC crisis and with inflation going up, their revenues went through the roof, revenues in terms of fiat dollar. And fiat dollar after August 1971, and I think the Hunt brothers, the Hunt family, knew about inflation really well. They weren't silly. And but they couldn't really buy physical gold because it was illegal for Americans. Yes, some people got away with it on a small scale by sovereigns, but they needed to buy tons of gold to protect their earnings in fiat dollars. So they resorted to going for silver because silver wasn't illegal. And that's how it started back in the early 70s. And they used COMEX, but they also bought silver directly from other countries and shipped it by plane to the United States. So they had huge reserves of silver. But by 1979, early 1980, they actually had gotten a lot of people involved in the silver market. There's stories about even the Shah of Iran being one of these people, some other Middle Eastern sheikhs, even John Connolly. There's a rumor that former governor of Texas, of course, who was in JFK's limo when JFK was shot, rumors that he was involved with the Hunt brothers because they wanted Texas to secede from the Union. And that is not outlandish because the U.S. economy was in really bad shape in the late 70s, and Texas had a lot of wealth. And if you didn't know, Texas is the only state out of the 50 states that was admitted into the Union through an international treaty. I think it's the Treaty of Hidalgo. And there's an automatic, almost automatic renewal of that treaty every year, I think on the 1st of January. And I think they're looking not to renew the treaty in 1980 or maybe 81. And they're looking to use silver as the currency to back a Mexican dollar, sorry, not Mexican, but a Texan dollar or whatever they were going to call it. So I think what happened on COMEX in 1980, and we know about this because Jim Sinclair told us about it, they basically stopped and bankrupted the Hunts in their tracks. The reason given is because they're cornering the market, and that some other some brokerages houses that were members of COMEX were gonna fail, and so on and so forth. But I think it goes much deeper. But anyway, yeah, they basically changed the rules on COMEX. That's why I've always told people, yeah, you might want to speculate in the futures market, but beware. It's rigged. When push comes to shove, the big banks and the regulators will crush anyone who challenges it, like they did the Hunts. So they basically banned buying of silver futures. So not surprisingly, silver collapsed from almost 50 to, yeah, $20, $30 in a matter of weeks. And that was the end of the silver bull market. And it was only in 2011, of course, that we saw silver go back to 50. And even then, there's talk that JP Morgan was involved in smashing the silver price, which really crashed spectacularly, and that they used some of the silver that they acquired from bailing out Bear Stearns. And yeah, so there's all these things that went on on silver. And there's also silver squeeze back in 2021, where the guy from Goldman Sachs, the head of commodities, Jeff, I forgot his surname now, but he basically slipped and said how the bullion banks, they buy the ETFs for their clients, and then they go short the ETFs. And he said that they had 200 billion supply of silver, above ground and below ground. And then the CFTC, the guy from the CFTC said we had to tamp down the price of silver because it was above 30. So yes, there has been massive manipulation. Some people argued that it goes back to the 1870s, the great crime of, I think it's 1873, where actually it was the German imperial government that decided to unwind, sell a lot of their silver because they had won the Franco-Prussian War. So they're flush with silver, and that really hurt the silver price, and it really hurt the silver producing western states as well. And I mean, there was even an election, I think it was 1896, William Jennings Bryan. He was representing the western silver producing states, and he went against the gold standard, across a gold speech. So yeah, silver has been really, how can I say, kept down, you could argue, for like 150 years. Yes, if you go back thousands of years or 1,000 years, 1,500 years, that ratio, gold silver ratio, has been around 15, maybe sometimes 10, but not like where we are or where we've been lately, around 100 and even 80 where we're now. So I say hold on to your silver for dear life. I think silver is going to shock the world. Not that gold isn't going to shock the world either. And am I saying you need to sell your gold to buy silver? No, I do both. I mean, I try to accumulate as much gold and silver as I can. I still think, yeah, silver is the money of the people. Gold is more for the elites. But it's a good thing to have to, I would say. Yeah, and there's speculation. Some people say that ratio could go to 1-to-1, but I think let's go one step at a time. I think the next key level in terms of the ratio will be like 30. So let's say if gold is at $5,000, and we have a 30-to-1 ratio, that will mean $150 silver, which is not really, looking at the ratio like that, it's not really outlandish. And if we go to 15-to-1, that's $300 silver. And of course, gold in my opinion is going to go a lot higher. And talking about gold, let's talk about de-dollarization now, because back in, I've got the exact date here, July 15th, 2021, I published a video about Brazil's gold reserves soaring by 62% in June. Yes, they bought a lot of gold in 2021, and they were early in the game of adding gold reserves. If you remember well, if you've been following gold for the last few years, the central banks, especially BRICS-related central banks or non-Western central banks, bought the most gold ever in 2022, net gold, since the start of the Bretton Woods. They did the same in 23, 24 as well. And this year they're still buying quite a bit too. And that is all about de-dollarization. But Brazil, for some reason, they stopped buying after 2021, which was strange. And but now news has come out from Christian Gopal, who I follow on X. And who's Christian Gopal? Well, he's the senior analyst at the World Gold Council and reports a lot of interesting data and information about gold. So yesterday he reported on X. It says latest data from the IMF shows that the Central Bank of Brazil increased its gold reserves by almost 16 tons in September. Its first addition of gold since July 2021, right? Which I talked about 4 years ago. Its gold holdings now total 145 tons, which isn't that much, but I think this was in September. Maybe Brazil is going to keep buying a bit more. It seems like the Brazilian Central Bank or whoever's in charge of buying gold in Brazil, be it the Treasury or the Ministry of Finance or the Central Bank, they like to go all in. Like they don't do dollar cost averaging like the Chinese have been doing, 2 tons a month. So I find that quite interesting. The reason why I think Brazil doesn't have more of a bigger, let's say, gold reserves, maybe is because they're running surpluses, and gold is going to be used as a payment settlement mechanism for the BRICS countries in their trading. I think, of course, the Chinese yuan will be the major currency being used there, because it's normal when the biggest economy in the bloc is China. A lot of the stuff is going to be done in yuan. But what gold will be used as is a form of settlement at the end of accounting periods for surpluses and deficits, current account surpluses and deficits. And I still think that eventually we could see these BRIC countries, these non-NATO, non-G7 countries, peg their currencies to gold. But I think that's still, how can I say, far away. That would be, of course, having some kind of gold standard. And I think that's, very probable because I think China, Russia, India, a lot of these countries, hopefully they're learning that having a fiat currency-based system imposed by one strong nation, like the United States has been doing since 1971, is not really the way forward, is not really the representative way. I don't want to use the word democracy here because I don't think it's really appropriate. I think countries are sovereign and that's it, right? So am I saying I'm pro Lula in Brazil? No, because he's a socialist, but I don't think it really matters that much. Brazil is still a very strong economy, and unlike the peso, though, the Brazilian real, and I've got numbers here and a chart, has been a very good performing currency. Of course, not versus gold, but for example, the dollar has dropped 13% year to date versus the Brazilian real. The euro has dropped 3% year to date. And even the venerable Swiss franc has dropped 2% year to date versus the Brazilian real. So it looks like they're doing something right in Brazil. Yeah, so we're a little later today, Rudy and I. It's getting darker in the morning, so I got up a little later. So it's 10 to 9 a.m. London time. We've got spot gold at 4,031. That's down 9, which isn't that much really. I mean, the fact that we're still above 4,000 is pretty crazy, isn't it? But I think it's going to accelerate. As I've been saying, the low actually has been 4,001 overnight. And silver is back above 49. I mean, yesterday afternoon, early evening London time, silver was knocking on the door of 49.50. But towards the end of the day, they got it back below 49. So I think we're going to go retest 49.50 and then 50 later on today. And as I've said in the beginning of this report, you want to keep an eye on things when that happens. It's going to get pretty crazy, I think. Everything else seems pretty quiet here, with the exception maybe of the British pound. That's down about 1/3%. And I've also seen that HSBC, which is a major bank here in the UK and even worldwide, I would say, is down about 6%. Not sure what's going on there. There's a story about them buying outright one of their holdings in Hong Kong, i.e. Hang Seng Bank. I'm not sure if that bank is in trouble. But anyway, with that, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.